think welcome back, everybody, to H&J Talk Sports. It's Monday. January 17th. Late show today because it was a late game and Harry shows up late because he has no punctuality. But here we are. Beard shaved, different hats. Let's go.
Here we go.
The Steelers will never be last in the league in running again.
It's a good time to get hot.
Holy crap, guys. That's pretty cool.
And a Rabu.
Najee Harris, running back, first round. I think the Steelers will target him. As you guys can see, Harry shaved. I didn't shave because it was a late game. We don't have our hats on, our toboggans or beanies. What do they call these in the South? These are toboggans, right?
Yeah. Beanie.
What do people in the South call them? Is it a beanie? Because to me, beanies are like tight. So I don't know. But that's done with. Steelers lose, which we expected, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't shocking, but it was disappointing.
Was it disappointing?
Yeah, the way it went down was disappointing. I guess it's my own fault because I bought into the hype all week. Everyone was picking against the Steelers. Everyone was talking. Ben came out and was like, we don't care. We're the underdogs. So kind of had that mentality like something could happen maybe.
No.
But no. It was the same team we saw all year.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. If you've been watching all year,
yeah,
pretty much new.
But you know what? I do what happens every week. I get hype all week and I forget how bad they are. And then Sunday comes and they're terrible. And then, Tuesday I forget again and I'm ready for the next game. And then they're bad again. And I was feeling really good after that first quarter, man. It was 7-0 or nothing, I think, after the first quarter, which I thought was a huge win for the Steelers because the first game it was 30-0 by the half. And, TJ came out and had a huge defensive touchdown after the offense was struggling. So at that point, 7-0, you're like, okay, we're in it, right?
Yeah. I mean, the defense did their part in the beginning.
Yeah.
It sucks. The offense really didn't contribute at all. And you need, and in a game like that, you have to have, the offense has to do something. They're dropping balls. You're not converting. You're just going off the field. You're putting the offense on the field over and over again. I mean, there were a lot of possessions that first quarter.
Yeah.
Both teams were getting stopped very quick.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't take long. Once Kansas City gets in rhythm, I mean, they put up 21 points like nothing.
Yeah.
At the end of the second quarter.
It's so frustrating too, because you said it, there was drop balls, which Deontay had 2 huge drops, which could have been third downs. That hurts. But that aside, man, even who do you blame? I don't even know who to blame. Is it Matt Canada's fault? Is it Ben's fault? Is it Tomlin's? Is it the O-line? Why is this offense so bad? Like, you have a week to prepare, and then you come out, and it seems like no one has any idea what's going on.
Well, this team has issues pretty much everywhere. I think
it does. Like, how are you Trey Turner? Even he's the veteran of the offensive line, and he's missing wide open blocks. Like, there was a series about 3 plays in a row where the O-line's missing block assignments.
Yeah.
How are you doing that?
I think, yeah. I mean, you got problems with the line. Roethlisberger, he's getting older. He's not the same guy. It's been.
Yeah.
The receivers are dropping the ball, not really making plays. The only one that has been good and consistent all year has been Najee, and you can only do so much when the line hasn't really been
the O-line didn't help him at all last night. Like, it was historically bad. And once the Chiefs found their momentum, that was it, man.
Yeah, I mean, once they got, like, I had felt if we got down by 2 scores that was it, because I didn't think we were going to be able to get out of it. Playing on the road at night.
I was hoping we could just get into the half down by 1. I thought if we could do that, the Steelers could do something. But when they scored at the end of the half, that was it. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, that I think, what was it, the third touchdown? I think it was to Kelsey.
Yeah.
That was it. That felt like the nail in the coffin
For
for the
sure.
game, because you didn't see any hopes with the offense of being able to start generating points, and then the defense was starting to get carved up.
Yeah.
Had our chances. The defense got us on the board first, and but nothing from the offense.
I mean, they can only do so much. I mean, we saw when you get out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, and the defense keeps coming on the field, and then Mahomes gets in a rhythm. And, the secondary, for what they have, they've been good this year, but they're not that great. And they got, once Mahomes got in a rhythm, they got exposed. Sutton was getting beat every play, like bad. And, Minka, all year, he's been trying to cover weak coverages. He's been playing the whole field because his teammates can't cover. They can't cover their players. And Minka's been trying to make up, but he can't do it. Hayden hasn't looked himself the past few weeks. So, and that's it. And then it ends up, it's 42 to, what ended up? 42-21. So, West Virginia's done. Steelers are done. Football's over, other than a Super Bowl in a few weeks. It's crazy that it came and went so fast, man. It feels like it just started.
Yeah, it wasn't a great year. Not a lot to celebrate this year.
No, now we got an off season to figure out a lot of things. I mean, 18 years, 19 years, Ben's been the quarterback. I remember the generation before that, Steelers had trouble finding one. There was a few years with Cordell Stewart where he was pretty good, but the Steelers never got. But other than Cordell Stewart, I can't remember in my lifetime a quarterback that was any good.
No, we went from Cordell Stewart. Cordell Stewart was good.
He was good. It just never happened for whatever reason for that team.
Well, they made it to the conference championship and unfortunately ran into Tom Brady a bunch.
Yeah.
Then Tommy Maddox was bad, but that led the door to Roethlisberger, and Roethlisberger's been there. To me, I don't think this team is too far away. I think you're in a better spot than you are if you're like the Lions or the Jags. I think you have a lot of really good pieces. The defense is there. Are there still holes? Yeah. I mean, you still got to fix some stuff in the secondary. You still need the corners, but you got a good defense.
Do any coordinators get fired, or is that just wishful thinking?
I don't know. It's hard to tell. I think you're missing a lot on offense, talent-wise. You can't blame it all on the coordinators. Just the line wasn't there, and then the receivers are supposed to be good, and they're just not making plays.
Yeah.
But you could
put the play calling seemed bad, and the preparation is what, whether it's the O-line coach, the wide receivers coach, it seems like every week we come and people don't know their assignments of the game plan. And that seems like more of a coaching issue than a personnel, or maybe the players are stupid. I don't know. Maybe it is a personnel issue. Maybe they're not reading the playbook.
You can get a QB and put them in there. We can win games. This is a team that's not too far off.
Well, Mike Tomlin hinted he wanted a veteran. So they're probably not going to draft. There's a lot of free agent options, but recently, this past week, Mike Tomlin has also been talking about Mason Rudolph and Dwayne Haskins fighting for position next season. So that could be your quarterback duo.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the QB class coming is super strong right now. So
no, I don't think draft is the way to go, but there's a lot of possible free agents this season.
You don't want to give up your future for somebody super. I mean, Watson is out there, but you'd have to give up a lot for him.
Yeah.
I think Russell and Rodgers are older, and you'd have to pay a fortune for that. Watson would be somebody possibly, but I don't know how much you're willing to give up. He's younger, so he could.
A lot of people have been looking at Jimmy G or Derek Carr.
I think those are answers, long-term answers.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. This is something we haven't seen from the Steelers in a long time.
Yeah, next season might be rough.
Yeah, it could be next season could be the real rebuild season. This could have been a preview for what was to come with that. Last week, Harry, after the show, 4:00, because we do our show early Monday. So as always, the big announcements come late Monday. We miss them. We didn't get to talk about it. We talked about Coach Trickett leaving, how it was a huge blow for West Virginia. He was big in recruiting. But around 4, West Virginia made a huge announcement, maybe their biggest offensive coordinator hire in West Virginia history or in many, many years. Graham Harrell was hired as the new quarterback coach / offensive coordinator. This is a huge move. It's made waves across college football. And along with that announcement, Neil Brown also came out and said, hey, I made some mistakes this year. I'm stepping back completely from trying to coordinate the offense. So he's stepping back. He's becoming more of a head coach kind of moderator and letting his coordinators take over that position completely. So with Graham Harrell coming in for the quarterbacks and calling the offense, and Neil Brown stepping back completely from that role, that's some big news for West Virginia.
Yeah, it's good. I think it's a good hire. I think it's a good move. Definitely moving the team in the right direction. We definitely had seen Neil Brown be a little conservative, the offense.
Yes, too conservative.
Too great. So I think having somebody else call the plays, and if I'm not mistaken, he played at Texas Tech.
Yes. And he was had a big career at Texas Tech from what I've looked into.
And so, I mean, it could be good. I mean, Texas Tech and their offense, what they're known for. So hopefully, I like the move. I think it's great to have somebody in there that's different than Neil Brown. We've seen him call the plays. We've seen it's not working. So change it up and start fresh.
This is one of our biggest critiques this season was the offense looked boring. And Neil Brown is a kind of low-key boring guy. He doesn't have a lot of personality. He's not fiery like Holgorsen was. He's just very low-key. So this could add some creativity and some fun to the offense. And with a lot of new young quarterbacks, we talked about last week, and Nico coming in, who's supposedly could be something special. You really like this hiring. He could develop our quarterbacks, Garrett Green, Will Crowder, Nico, and just bring some spark to the offense, man. We got young wide receivers too. Like, this is a young offensive team coming in next season. So this is very exciting and big for West Virginia. I feel better about him than I did last week.
Yeah, definitely good news. The only bad thing I would say is that he won't have any loyalty. He won't stay. So if the team does really well, he'll be gone.
I mean, he's one of those guys where you think he's on the short list for some head coaching opportunities that may open up after next season, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it would be a season, but I could maybe in 3 or 4 seasons if the team does really well, he would be gone. But
well, shoot, if the team does really well in 3 or 4 seasons, he's done his job, and hopefully we've got something good that happens there.
Exactly, I think. Yeah. I mean, he's got the talent. I mean, it's if you're an OC, because he was at USC before, right? And they got Lincoln Riley, and they're he's probably bringing in his people. Yeah. I mean, this isn't a bad spot. You got Nico coming in. You got some young guys. And so you can kind of mold it how you want.
And I mean, this is a long shot, and I'm reading an article right now, so it may be a way longer shot, and this may be stupid to mention. Yeah, never mind. I was going to bring up Jackson Dart, former quarterback USC, also left along with the offensive coordinator. So you thought maybe there's some pull there, right? You leave, you bring in your guy, especially with a change in the guard at USC. But apparently he's narrowed down his 2 schools to either Oklahoma or Ole Miss. According to rumors. That might be bull crap. That might not be true, but that's what I'm reading right here now. So never mind.
I heard that too. I thought that was a long shot.
It's a long shot, but sometimes these quarterbacks follow their coordinators, especially since apparently he was the one that recruited him there. So
it could be, but
yeah, probably not. Oh well.
We got to keep it coming. You don't want to. Yeah. If we take him, but you don't want to risk losing somebody that's in it right now or about to come.
That too. I think there's room, especially with Nico being a freshman and the opportunity to redshirt him. I mean, if you maybe see a junior or a senior out somewhere in the transfer portal, it might be worth taking him for a year.
Somebody that play for a year too.
Yeah. And then develop Nico, but maybe not. I mean, this could be Nico's year to take over. We've seen a lot from him. He's impressed me this season. We've heard a lot of good things. He could be the guy. And now he's got a coordinator and a competent QB coach. So big things coming. I'm excited. I'm more excited about West Virginia than the Steelers. I don't know.
I agree. We will see.
Is it too early to make our ridiculous predictions? Top 3 for West Virginia?
We got a long time with nothing, no comment.
Yep. Yep. We'll wait.
Still late.
Speaking of West Virginia, though, Harry, there's some basketball going on this weekend. Did you see
Oh
the
yeah,
basketball?
I saw a little bit of it.
I watched it. I watched them get blown out by Kansas. That was a tough game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I haven't been too impressed with the team. They lost a lot from last year's team,
Mm-hmm.
and Kansas is a tough game, especially at Kansas.
Yeah.
But they're about to have to play Baylor. Baylor's lost,
Mm-hmm.
so that'll be
And this
another
was
tough one.
probably they got 3 tough games in a row. They had Kansas, Baylor, and someone right after that. I can't remember off the top of my head. So this was a really tough stretch, and they dropped the first one to Kansas, which they were up really early in that game. I think the first quarter they pulled ahead and were up, and then it just all went downhill, and they got blown out.
Yeah, I think they're a mid-tier team
Mm-hmm.
right now in the conference. They had been kind of upper and been competitive with all these teams for the last while. You had Javon Carter and then McBride, and been good for years. So
Mm-hmm.
a step back this year. I mean, you kind of expect it.
Yeah.
It's a shame because we had all these players we could have had that would have, if they would have came back, we would have been one of the top teams in the country.
I know that's God. That's the transfer portal, and obviously the draft hurt a little bit too. But you
College
said that at
basketball,
the end of last year, the redeeming factor was all these guys are coming back, and then not they all left.
college basketball is tough, and then you throw in the transfer portal.
Yeah.
It's tough to keep a team together for that long.
Mm-hmm.
NBA and for basketball, you can just go to the NBA after a year out of being after high school. So if somebody plays really well, like McBride was doing, he's gone. And then the transfer portal now, guys play well, they leave. And Hugs is a tough coach. He rides you hard. Some of these people can't take it, and
so it's even tougher. It's really basketball is tougher than football because when you factor in the young draft, if you don't get a talented team young and start making runs, it's really hard to develop players.
Yeah, I mean, I think college, it seems like with college sports in general now with this transfer portal, it's hard to keep a team together.
Yeah, very.
Unfortunately, if you have players that play well above their expectation, they're going to leave, maybe go to a better school.
Mm-hmm.
If you have people that play bad, aren't getting enough play time, they can leave and go to a different school. It's tough. It's a new time, new era.
So is this just what we're going to see? You think they'll ever put back in any penalties?
They could. You may see in a few years how they regulate this NIL stuff.
Yeah.
I think you're seeing it with football where schools are basically paying players to come.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's been rumors about it before, but now it's pretty much just out in the open.
Yeah.
If you're a good enough player, you can transfer here and get millions of dollars.
Our boy Nico just got a big deal from Toothman Ford out of Morgantown.
Yeah, well, I mean, you see with the smaller schools, you'll get your top players can get a deal, but you can't compare that to the USC boosters or teams like Alabama that could pay and afford to pay players a lot. So you may see some type of regulation in a while. Right now, I think it hasn't been done before, so you got to see how it affects everything. It's only been a year.
Yeah,
so
and it's going to be the Wild West for a while.
Right now, it's tough to keep a team together.
For sure. Let us know in the comments what you guys think. Did you like that basketball coverage? Should I watch more basketball? I don't know. Is this team going to be any good? Is it March yet? We'll see. Yeah, man, moving on. Penguins. Talked about how hot they were last week, hottest team. They finally lost their win streak. After that, they've kind of been up and down. Win one, lose one, win one, lose one. It's kind of had a tough West Coast road trip here. Usually they do good about at the West Coast teams, but I felt like they've been getting beat down on this trip. They play Vegas tonight. It's the last game of their West Coast trip. So hopefully they pull a dub. They won the other night against San Jose in a very tough, low scoring game. Malkin made his return the other night, Harry, in his first game back. He had 2 goals and an assist. He looked fantastic. I think that was against Anaheim, if I'm not mistaken. Or was that against Dallas? I'm pretty sure that was Anaheim. He's looked okay since then. Again, they've had some COVID issues, but I think Rust is coming back soon. Probably this game. Zucker's supposed to come back soon. I think getting off this road trip and getting back to some normal 7:00 games will be good for them. Good for the fans. I've been conking out in the third period of some of these games, especially that Kings game, 2-1. You ain't keeping me up with 2-1 at 11:30. No.
When's the Olympics this year? The Winter Olympics?
Yeah, it's coming up in February, I think, but the NHL pulled out because of COVID. So they'll still have hockey, but it's not the NHL players going now, which is disappointing.
That sucks. No rest for the weary.
Yeah, I think they're probably going to use that opportunity to make up a lot of these missed COVID games, I would imagine, because you still got that 2 weeks gap in the schedule now. Yeah. So they probably saw that as an opportunity as well to make up some games, which I'm sure played into it. Before we wrap up today, though, one thing too with the Penguins, Tristan Jarry, your Penguins goalie, has made the All-Star game, and for the second time in his career, actually. So that should be exciting. One thing I want to talk about real quick before we wrap up that annoyed me is Sidney Crosby did make the All-Star game.
Didn't?
He didn't. Now, he started this year late. He hasn't been doing, great, but he's still over a point per game player. Like, he's scoring at a pace over a point per game. He's still Sidney Crosby. And I think this is the problem that the NHL has always had, Harry. How is the face of your league not at the All-Star game?
Well, maybe it's good. He could use the break.
It's good for him. It's good for the Penguins, but it's bad for the game, and it's just stupid. It's dumb. The face of your game. And I'm going to be completely unbiased here. Ovechkin should always be in the All-Star game too until he retires, even if he has a horrible season. Connor McDavid should always be there. Matthews should always be there. The best players in your sport should always be at the All-Star game. That's the point of it. Like, I see some of these guys have good years, and you got a guy who's having good. Yeah, he should make it. But the face of your league should make it. Like, is LeBron? I don't watch basketball. Maybe you can tell me. I don't know. I know you don't follow it super close, so maybe you don't know either. But is LeBron not always at the All-Star game?
He is.
Like, do you not want him there, even if he's having a horrible year? That's the face of your league.
I'd want him there.
So if, until Crosby retires, until Ovechkin retires, if these guys have 10 points in January, they should be at the All-Star game. Like, people tune in to watch Crosby and Ovechkin, and they have for years. Like, casual fans, people that aren't too into it, or even the All-Star game fans of other teams, like maybe you're a casual Toronto fan or you're an Arizona fan. This is your chance to see guys like Crosby and Ovechkin, and you get to see them play together and with other great players. So it's so stupid that the NHL does it like this.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the best way to bring attention to your All-Star game.
Because the All-Star game is stupid. Let's be honest. It's an advertising opportunity is what it is. That's what it is. It's advertisement for the game. If we're looking
I've never been a fan of All-Star games in any sport.
I mean, I never even watched the Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl's the worst out of every sport, I think, is the Pro Bowl. It's such a joke. The NBA one has the skills and the slam dunk competition, which is a big deal. Other than that, who cares?
It's too much. It's too laid back.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, with hockey and football, it's a physical sport.
Mm-hmm. I used to like it more. It used to be a little more competitive, and the skills competition used to be my favorite part. But the past few years, to try to make it more commercial, they've changed the skill competition. They switched the all-star format to 3-on-3 to make it more exciting, which I guess it is. But to me, they ruined it. So I don't even think it's good anymore. But all it is an advertising opportunity, and you're not having the face of your sport there. So it's dumb. Other than that, I guess they're doing a fan vote in still. So Jake Gensel has a chance to get in. So, hey, if you're a fan, go vote for Jake Gensel on Twitter. I think you can vote, or NHL.com. I don't know. Get him in. Get him in. That's about it. Hopefully the Penguins have a good week. I'm sure we'll have some more news on the Steelers or West Virginia right after our show's over this week, because that's what usually happens. Other than that, Jeff on Harry?
It was fun.
Thanks for being late today. That's why the show's late, but I hope you guys enjoy it nonetheless.
It's my day off, man. Got sleep.
Maybe Harry will be on time next week. Well, football's over, so we can record pretty early for the next couple months.
Yeah.
We might have to knock these shows out early. But we'll see you guys next week. Maybe we'll have some news, maybe not. H&J Talk Sports. Go follow us on social media, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, maybe. HJ Talk Sports. Go subscribe if you haven't subscribed it. Hey, you know what would make Harry be on time? If you subscribed. The more subscribers we get, the more views, the more likes, the more Harry has to take this seriously. So go subscribe. The goal is to get Harry to quit his job. So to do that, we only need about 200,000 more subscribers. So you guys get your fingers pumping. Share. And we'll see you next week.